Good evening, my name is Jeff Lashley, and this is Gunsmithing Tools Lab Week 2, Assignment 1, October 28, 2023. I'm going to do a functions check and then do a field strip of my Anderson Manufacturing AM15, which is an AR-15 multi-caliber platform. But from here on out, it's just an AR-15. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the weapon is clear. The magazine is removed, no feed source. We're going to follow all safety rules, make sure the weapon is pointed in a safe direction, weapon is on safe, never in point your weapon in anything you don't intend to shoot, keep weapon on safe, and be mentally prepared and whatnot. So first thing we're going to do is double check the chamber, make sure that it is clear so the weapon is on safe. Pull the charging handle to the rear, physically and visually check to make sure that the chamber is clear. It is. Send the bolt home. We'll go straight into our functions check. So from here, the manual for this AR-15 calls for the charging handle to be pulled and released to the rear, making sure that the bolt goes home to the battery position. Put the selector on safe if it's not already. Pull the trigger, nothing should happen. Nothing happens. From there it says put the fire selector on fire. Pull the trigger and dry fire it. It specifically says it will not hurt the weapon. Always making sure that your weapon is pointed in a safe direction. And then from there, the functions check is complete according to their manual. From there, we will go ahead and do a field strip. We'll use two tools. I will use a punch and a screwdriver. First thing I'm going to do is remove the takedown pins between the upper and lower receiver. Separate them. So now that I have the lower receiver, the only thing we're going to do there is remove the buffer and buffer spring. Set that off to the side. The lower receiver is now field stripped, ready for cleaning or light maintenance, depending on what you're qualified to do. The upper receiver, pull the charging handle to the rear and remove the bolt carrier group. Pull the charging handle out. The upper receiver is now to its lowest point for a field strip. The bolt will be removed after the firing pin. So the firing pin, you will remove the firing pin retaining pin. Slide the the firing pin out through the rear. Push the bolt aft. Turn the cam pin. It will come out. And then you can pull the bolt out forward. And that is as far as you would go down for a field strip. I'm going to do it just in reverse to put it back together. Slide your bolt back in, making sure that your extractor is in the proper position. Most bolts won't allow you to put the cam pin back in the other direction, but the owner's manual specifically said to check that, so I followed those rules. So once the cam pin is back in, the bolt is all the way to the rear, you then would put the firing pin back in the same way you took it out. Through the bottom, pushing it all the way down, push the retaining pin in, and then take your upper receiver and put your charging handle back in the slots. With your bolt all the way extended, take the gas tube, place it in the charging handle, and align it to push it all the way back in. From there, we will then take the buffer and buffer spring, put it back in the lower receiver, and put the lower receiver and the upper receiver back together by pushing the takedown pins back together. From there, we'll go ahead and do a functions check. Same thing, charging handle to the rear, let go, weapon's on safe, pull the trigger, nothing happens, put the weapon on fire, checking that you're still pointing in a safe direction, pull the trigger, it fires, and that has completed the functions check as stated in the owner's manual of this AR-15 from Anderson Manufacturing. That concludes today's assignment. Thank you.